In this video, we'll give you a quick tour of the Santa Barbara County wine country and tell you what makes it so special for us. There's just something in us that says we need to escape the city and spend some time among the fields to reset our humanity. For those of us who don't get it done by driving out to a cabbage patch, visiting wine country is a great choice. It's a world where traffic jams are replaced by vineyard rows, where the biggest decision is Pinot Noir or Syrah, and where the most stressful thing you'll encounter is an aggressively friendly ostrich. Welcome to Santa Barbara wine country, one of the greatest wine regions in America that Angelenos somehow still treat like a local secret. And today, we're proving you don't need a passport, a week off work, or a trust fund to enjoy world-class wine. Here's the reveal. From Los Angeles, Santa Barbara wine country is close enough for a day trip, affordable enough for an overnight, and dangerous enough that you'll start browsing real estate listings by sunset. Unlike Napa or Sonoma, this trip doesn't require the logistics planning worthy of a NASA launch. Leave after breakfast, taste wine before lunch. Be home before your pet files a missing persons report. And the reason this area punches so far above its weight comes down to one scientific reason. Geography is doing something completely weird. Most of the world's famous wine country mountain ranges run north-south. Santa Barbara County, the mountains run east-west, creating one of the few wine regions in the world where cool ocean current-influenced air flows straight inland, which means every few miles, it's basically a different climate. If France built a theme park dedicated to wine areas, it would look suspiciously like Santa Barbara County. The county is split up into American viticultural areas, or AVAs, that represent grape-growing regions that distinguish between different geographic, soil, and climate features that are conducive for growing different varietals of wine grapes. Closest to the ocean, fog rolls in and the freshly cooled breeze blows in like nature's air conditioning. The Santa Rita Hills AVA and Santa Maria Valley AVA specialize in Pinot Noir and Chardonnay that rival the cool Burgundy region of France. Cool mornings, sun-drenched afternoons, long growing seasons combine to produce elegant wines. Move slightly inland to the east and temperatures rise. Similar to Burgundy's grape region's transition downriver to the Rhône River Valley, welcome to the Ballard Canyon AVA, home of Syrah, Grenache, and Rhône-style blends. These wines are bold, spicy, and confident, like someone who owns multiple linen shirts. According to old advertising, this person drinks Dos Equis. Head further inland to Happy Canyon of Santa Barbara AVA, warmer climate, structured reds, prominent Bordeaux varietals like Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Cabernet Franc. Wines built for aging, or for convincing your friends you suddenly understand tannins and how they evolve through bottle aging. In one afternoon, you can travel from Burgundy to the Rhône to Bordeaux without needing high-speed trains. If all this sounds a little familiar, it's because Santa Barbara wine country became globally famous thanks to the movie Sideways. Yes, the film that launched 1,000 Pinot Noirs and temporarily ruined Merlot's self-esteem. Miles was brought aside by his friend and told not to become a bummer on the date they were having in this restaurant. And he made the comment that if someone orders a Merlot, I am effing out of there. But beyond the movie, what Sideways really captured was the joy of discovery. Wine here isn't intimidating, it's curious, welcoming, and occasionally overwhelming with choices of where to taste next. Santa Barbara wine country isn't one place. It's a collection of personalities. Santa Barbara City, it's really the gateway from Los Angeles. It's historic and has a collection of wine tasting rooms, but it's no substitute for getting into the fields only another half-hour drive further. Los Olivos, walkable tasting rooms, charming streets, and the highest concentration of people saying mouthfeel per capita in America. Buellton, highway adjacent, great food stops, and an ideal home base for living out your Sideways cosplay. Lompoc, home of the legendary wine ghetto, where industrial buildings house serious winemaking talent. And what if you're with people who have zero interest in trying wine? You've got the Danish-inspired town of Solvang, where windmills, bakeries, and pastries exist in quantities previously thought impossible outside of the Buellton Peninsula. Over the years, it's grown into a real destination. You can visit Ostrichland, USA, where enormous prehistoric birds stare at you like they know your credit score. Don't skip feeding these near dinosaurs. Just stay calm when they attack your converted dustpan/feeder. Take the short walk to see Nahoki Falls, because there's just something satisfying seeing water reduce its potential energy. If anyone around you is laughing, you can now pause the video and call them a nerd. The area has 2 Franciscan missions if you're into California history. They even have side-by-side zip lines in case you're interested in verifying the works of Galileo, or just into having a great time. We'll leave a link to our more complete video on our own research in the description below. Or you can watch rocket launches from Vandenberg Space Force Base, because this wine region is hands down the world's best that also launches things into space. This also takes advantage of the unusual geometry in that they can launch directly south over the ocean without endangering nearby cities. Napa has the prestige and large size. It also has high costs and more snootiness than the casual wine taster should have to put up with. Santa Barbara has personality and intimacy. It still remembers that wine isn't a commodity for investment. It's meant to be enjoyed. When is the best time of year to visit? That's another win for the area. You can visit any time of the year, however things are the most green during winter and early spring. Summer wouldn't be described as lush, however it's warm and not humid, so really there is no off-season, unlike just about anywhere else on planet Earth. This is also where my own wine journey began. Years ago, I came here knowing almost nothing about wine. It was just a new activity to try it accompanied by friends. Tasting rooms became classrooms. Winemakers became teachers. I learned that wine isn't about memorizing facts, it's about understanding place. Those early visits sparked something. One trip became many. Santa Barbara County exploration grew to include Paso Robles, Santa Cruz Mountains, Napa, and Sonoma. California visits turned into Oregon and Washington. Then France, Italy, Spain, and the rest of the world. Talking with growers and winemakers, walking vineyards, learning how soil, climate, and human decisions shape what's in the glass. Everything I later learned about wine started right here in Santa Barbara County. That independent study eventually led somewhere I never expected. In 2016, I was invited to form and serve as team captain for Team USA at the World Wine Tasting Championship organized by La Revue de Vin de France, the historic publication connected to the legendary Judgment of Paris. The moment California wines shocked the world. It was obviously a clerical error, but I wasn't going to correct them. Professional tasting competitions work differently than vacations. You don't consume wine, you taste, then you spit. Because tasting a dozen wines without spitting would turn the World Championship into karaoke night very quickly. It would devolve from being a wine-sensing acumen exercise to sheer alcohol tolerance. Nobody outside of a frat initiation ceremony wants that. It's also a useful reminder for normal wine touring. Designated drivers are heroes, but why should they miss out on the whole experience? Spitting is responsible and much more respectable than your mother told you. So it turns out if you spit, you can actually not consume 95% of the alcohol. You only get a little absorption in the mucous membranes of your mouth. So that is one tip. So if you're the designated driver, spitting is your friend. And hydration, it's not optional, just do it. In case you're wondering, our team finished third in the world that year. Proof that curiosity, travel, and a lot of vineyard visits teaches you more than you think. Don't let wine snobs intimidate you. Everyone should learn enough to know what they would like to buy and consume. Recently, 2 of my teammates from our 2016 bronze medal group joined me back where it all started, a full circle return to Santa Barbara wine country to taste the new 2023 releases. We visited Paul Lotto Wines, known for crafting small production wines sourced from multiple vineyards across the county's diverse AVAs. An ideal way to get a sense of how the various grapes evolve during the growing season. We also headed to Pence Vineyards and Winery, where estate vineyards in the Santa Rita Hills express that cool climate magic in every glass. Here we toured the vineyards to see how the varying terrain created the different vineyard designations due to the physical traits of the soil, slope, and sun exposure. We also tasted Peak Ranch Vineyards and Winery, which makes great wines and happens to be the location for the first place Miles and Jack tasted in the movie Sideways. It felt like revisiting your old childhood school and realizing that you're still learning more about the intricacies that may not have made sense to you when you knew a lot less about wines. Here's the secret nobody tells beginners. Wine makes the most sense when you see the land where the grapes are grown. Reading about terroir is like reading about scuba diving. You understand it intellectually until the moment you actually plunge into water, fighting your buoyancy, gulping air, and pretending you're not terrified by all those alien creatures around you. Walking vineyards connects flavor to place. Suddenly, acidity equals coastal fog and cool breezes. Ripeness equals sunshine and longer time on the vine. Structure equals soil and sun exposure. Wine stops being confusing and starts confessing what it was like to grow up. Wine tasting is basically adult field trips. You swirl, you sniff, you pretend you detect blackcurrant while secretly hoping no one asks you follow-up questions. But the goal shouldn't be expertise. It's about expressing curiosity and learning what tastes best in your own unique mouth. Ask questions, talk to winemakers, compare regions. We don't like buying wine in magnums, we would prefer to try 2 different wines. We prefer being constantly on the lookout for our next favorite wine. And remember, the best wine education in the world costs about the same as brunch in Los Angeles. Santa Barbara Wine Country isn't just a destination, it's an introduction, a place where beginners become enthusiasts, enthusiasts become travelers, and travelers discover an entire world through a few glasses of wine. For me, it started here. And years later, after competition, travel, and thousands of tastings, coming back feels less like a trip and more like a homecoming. So whether you live in Los Angeles or you're just visiting, skip one day of traffic, drive 2 hours north, and discover why some of the world's best wines are hiding in plain sight. Cheers! If you'd like to hear some of our recommendations of wineries to visit, places to eat, or where to stay in the area, let us know in the comments. We'd be happy to share or even put together another video sharing our favorites. If you like these videos that feature our real experiences that don't use stock video or photos, please like and subscribe and ring that bell so you'll be alerted to our next video. See you on our next one. Thanks for watching.